Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Ainal. The title of this video is Shaping of a New World Order. Now, basically, this term, this phrase, and this word keeps coming up, and that's a new world order. And basically, the world order that we knew has always been America, basically. America at the forefront, America leading, right? So pretty much I'm going to go into, the fact that this is changing, right? And the Lord has declared this from the beginning, that a new world order will take place, but that new world order is going to be that of the Israelites. All right. So let's play a little bit of this. And what I'll say here is we have the fact checkers here, right? So it says New World Order, Wikipedia. The New World Order is a term often used in conspiracy theories which hypothesize a secretly emerging totalitarian world government. So let's see.
The future is changing faster than we think. The world is undergoing a transformation. Traditional superpowers face economic challenges, emerging nations are reshaping global institutions, and technological breakthroughs could redefine power as we know it. The next decade will determine whether the world remains US-led, shifts toward China, or evolves into a multipolar system with competing blocs like BRICS, the European Union, and India. But what if nation-states are no longer the dominant force? Could AI corporations, decentralized economies, or entirely new alliances shape the next phase of human history? The geopolitical landscape is becoming more complex, with nations, businesses, and emerging technologies competing for influence in ways we have never seen before. By the time this video ends, you'll have a clearer picture of the forces shaping the world, and a deeper understanding of who is best positioned to lead. And here's where you come in. Which country, bloc, or entity do you think will dominate by 2030? Drop your answer in the comments and let's start a discussion. The future of US hegemony. Decline or reinvention? For decades, the United States has been the dominant global power, but that status is increasingly being challenged. With $35 trillion in national debt, a $2 trillion annual deficit, and concerns over its ability to sustain economic dominance, many analysts question whether the US can maintain its leadership role. However, American innovation, technological leadership, and military power remain formidable. The question is, can the US adapt fast enough? The US dollar's role as the global reserve currency is under pressure, as BRICS nations and decentralized financial systems explore alternatives. Political polarization and inconsistent foreign policies have weakened US global credibility, causing some allies to seek greater autonomy. However, the US still leads in AI development, defense technology, and space innovation, areas that could shape global dominance in the coming years. If the US maintains its technological edge in AI, quantum computing, and space infrastructure, it could counterbalance economic and political weaknesses. To remain a global superpower, the US could reinvest in domestic industries like semiconductor production and AI innovation, strengthen alliances through NATO, AUKUS, and trade partnerships, and take the lead in AI regulation and global governance before China sets the rules. By 2030, the US could reinvent itself through technological leadership and strategic alliances. However, if internal divisions and financial instability persist, a multipolar world could emerge, where the US is only one of several competing superpowers. China's rise, superpower, or economic stagnation. China's rapid ascent has positioned it as a formidable global force, but new challenges could slow its trajectory. The real estate crisis has erased $18 trillion in household wealth, a loss greater than the 2008 US financial crash. Meanwhile, China's population is shrinking, with a 22% drop in the workforce expected by 2050, putting stress on its economy and social systems. Though China leads in 5G and quantum computing, it still relies on Western semiconductor technology, making it vulnerable to trade restrictions. To maintain its rise, China is expanding the Belt and Road.
All right, so it goes on and on about, everything that's happening in the world. And basically, there's World War III is happening. So there's a war. There's a war between the nations because what? Just like the title says, shaping of a new world order, which we'll get, but what I want to bring out real quick is this Isaiah 14, because one kingdom was going to go down, and basically we're next, the Israelites. And then I'll grab Daniel. All right, it's Isaiah 14, and I'll get it started at 29. Yeah. So going up here, I started at 24. This is Isaiah 14 and 24. It says, the Lord Yahweh of hosts have sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have proposed, so shall it stand. And I will break the Syrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart off them. Matter of fact, let me grab this NLT. It's Isaiah 14 and 24. It says NLT, the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua of heaven's armies, have sworn this oath. It will all happen as I have planned. It will be as I have decided. I will break the Syrians when they are in Israel. I will trample them on my mountains. My people will no longer be their slaves, nor bow down under their heavy loads. I have a plan for the whole earth. I have a hand of judgment upon all the nations, right? The scriptures say Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. The Syrians, right? That's in modern day America. But he has a plan against this devil to destroy them, right? Along with Israel, because they're joined together. When you say Israel, you say America. When you say America, you say Israel. Pretty much, they're one and the same. It says, verse 26, I have a plan for the whole earth, a hand of judgment upon all the nations. The Lord of heaven's armies has spoken. Who can change his plans when his hand is raised? Who can stop him? Right. So basically, it's prophesied that the Syrians, which is the modern day America, will go down along with Israel. And then even here in this continuing on in the verses, it goes on to say that, don't rejoice because why? We're next. Isaiah 14, 28, it says, this message came to me. This message came to me the year King Ahaz died. Do not rejoice, you Philistines, that the rod that struck you is broken. Who's striking the land of, the Gaza Strip right now with those Palestinians, right? Israel and America, right? It said, do not rejoice, you Philistines, that the rod that struck you is broken. Right. So once America and Israel is done away with, don't rejoice. Why? It says, do not rejoice, you Philistines, that the rod that struck you is broken, that the king who attacked you is dead. For from that snake, a more poisonous snake will be born, a fiery serpent to destroy you. And that goes into what? The Israelites, right? The hopeful elect. And in this time, we have, of course, Yahushua our king, Lord King Yahushua, David our king, and then the governing body of the Israelites. That's that fiery serpent that will destroy you, because why? The nations are going into slavery right after America is destroyed, And then it goes into say, out verse 30, I will feed the poor in my pasture, the needy will lie down in peace. But as for you, I will wipe you out with famine and destroy the few who remain. Right. So, during the process of this, we're gonna get beamed up, what? Because America's gonna be destroyed by nuclear weapons. Pursuant to Matthew 24, around verse 30, when Yahushua returns, he's going to beam up his elect, and it goes into all the plagues that's going to be happening, upon planet Earth, upon his return. It says, I will feed the poor in my pasture, the needy will lie down in peace, but as for you, I will wipe you out with famine and destroy the few who remain. Woe at the gates, weep in the cities, milk for fear, you Philistines. A powerful army comes like smoke from the north, each soldier rushes forward, eager to fight. What should we tell the Philistine messengers? Tell them the Lord Yahweh has built Jerusalem. Its walls will give refuge to his oppressed people, right? And that's us, the Israelites, right? Let me grab this Daniel. Let me go 7. So it's NLT. All right, so let me start at verse 23, right? Because once again, the title of this is Shaping of the New World Order, and they're talking about it. The subject of New World Order is coming about because America is at its end. All right, that's the whole point. And then we're going to get this article I got soon. It says Daniel 7 and 23. It says, then he said to me, the fourth beast is the fourth world power that will rule the earth. It will be different from all the others. It will devour the whole world, trampling and crushing everything in its path. Right, and it's talking about the revised Roman Empire, which is America, right? And it's different because how they rule, right? They rule through Senate, and government officials, they wrote together. The judges get the laws, or Trump, now Trump is president, he will pass a law to the court or whatever. They'll determine if they like it and they'll go ahead and pass it. If they don't pass it, they kind of battle it out and talk about it. But pursuant to Isaiah 19, we're in a time where this a cruel Lord will rule over America, Babylon, and Greek, and bypass all of that stuff. And that's what Trump is doing. He's bypassing now the court system and things like that. He's in at the point trying to arrest these individuals, right? And that also goes into what? That a kingdom divided shall not stand. So we're in that time where this fourth beast, right, which is America, is falling. It says its 10 horns are 10 kings who will rule that empire. Then another king will arise different from the other 10 who will subdue the 3 of them, right? So once again, this was talking about the Roman Empire, but then we go into the revised Roman Empire, right? And it's that other another king, that's America, that has came out of that. Then you have the subdue 3 of them. That goes into the Revolutionary Wars that America had, separating from Britain, and all of that. So Daniel 7:25, it says he will defy. So this new king that will arise out of the Roman Empire, which is America, it says he will defy the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and oppress the holy people of the Most High, which are the Israelites, right? It says he will try to change their sacred festivals and laws, and they will be placed under his control for a times and a half a time, right? And it goes into that 350-year period, right? So Esau pretty much is on borrowed time now. That's why we're at his end. And talks of the new government change, new world order are here. It says, but then the court will pass judgment and all his power will be taken away and completely destroyed. See, so that's what they're doing right now. They're trying to, in the KJV, I'll grab in the KJV real quick. It says, but the judgment shall sit, and that's the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy unto the end. But what exactly is the judgment? The judgment is that what? These 10 horns will hate the whore, right? That's going to Revelations, I believe it's 17, where the 10 horns will turn on America, Babylon, and Greek and burn her with fire, along with, Russia, Iran, and China. So that's the judgment. It says, but then the court will pass. And once I get this article, that'll make more sense too, because these nations are now trying to determine, which way they're going to turn or who's going to be in charge or whatnot. It says, but then the court will pass judgment and all his power will be taken away and completely destroyed. It says, then the sovereignty, power, and greatness of all the kingdoms under heaven will be given to the holy people of the Most High, right, which are the Israelites. His kingdom will last forever and all rulers will serve and obey him. That was the end of the vision. I, Daniel, was terrified by my thoughts and my face was pale with fear, but I kept these things to myself, right? So, that's the end of it all. Basically, after Esau is done, the Israelites will rule, but these nations, because pursuant to Psalms 49:11, they think that they're going to continue somehow, some way. They think they're going to make it out the judgment that's set upon them, which is utterly to be destroyed, and then put into slavery. So this is Isaiah 46 and start at 8. It says, remember this and show yourselves men, bring it again to mind, O you transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me. It says in verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. See, so the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has already set it up that Esau will go down, right? There's no trying to determine who's next, what we're going to do in the New World Order, right? There won't be a New World Order. The scriptures say when he's about to fill his belly, trouble shall come upon him, and that's in Job 20, right? In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be inscribed. So there won't be a New World Order, a reinventing of America or anything like that, right? No new rulers or anything like that. The place is going down. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 8. I'll start at 9 or 7. It says, pride is hateful before Yahweh and man, and by both do one commit iniquity. See, so Esau, pursuant to his pride, he's going to be destroyed. The scriptures in Obadiah says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, right? And that's talking about Esau, Edom. Verse 8 says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. See, so that's what's happening, right? The kingdom is being transferred and translated because we see that Esau, Edom, America is losing their power, right? And now the nations are like trying to figure out who's next. Everyone sees it. It's not some rocket science, like, damn, America's still in control. No, they see America losing. They see, America has become a laughing stock. and all of that. So now the nations are, trying to say, okay, well, who's next, pretty much. So this is TASS. It says Russian news agency. It says EC chief supports EU's renewal for shaping new world order. See, so this term, going back to this video, is in the news, right? They're talking about it. It says the new world order is a term often used in conspiracy theories, which hypothesize a secretly emerging totalitarian world government, right? So I mean, I don't know how is it a conspiracy theory or not, and they use that word conspiracy theory as in, it's not real or something like that, right? When it just means people conspiring, two or more people conspiring together, something like that. I looked it up before, so you can look it up. It says the EU needs to strive for progress in building its own defense capability and improving its competitiveness. Ursula von der Leyen said, right? So that's like what, the queen of Europe or something. It says European Commission President Ursula. We can look that real quick, see how she look, see what she's talking about. So you know who it is. Once you see her face, you will know. There you go. That's her right there, right? President of the European Commission. All right, there you go. It's worth to Google. Anyway, it says President Ursula von der Leyen has asserted that a renewal of the European Union is needed so it can actively participate in the shaping of the new world order. So she said this, and it quoted here. It says we need another new European Union that is ready to go out into the big wide world and to play a very active role in shaping this new world order that is coming. So they know a new world order is coming because why? We're in a time of war. We're in a time of government reform, right? We're in a time of reinventing militaries. According to the West, according to Trump, and things like that. That's what they're saying. Trump took office and he said this is the new golden age of America, right? They're trying to renew it, but at the same time, people have lost hope in America, right? So they're trying to renew things for themselves. And basically, Europe has pretty much been, I guess, dependent. What they're saying in the news, Europe has been dependent on America, but America now is turning their back on them, in many different ways. Therefore, Europe is now hating America and trying to figure out what they're going to do. Right. So it says we need another new European Union that is ready to go out into the big wide world and play a very active role in shaping this new world order that is coming. So a new world order is coming. There's no disagreeing with that point. Right. She said in an interview with Die Zet that said she noted that the EU needs to strive for progress in two areas, building our own defense capabilities and improving our competitiveness, she emphasized. So basically, they realize they need defense because America has been helping them. But without America, because that's the time we're coming in where they're divided, they need to work on themselves. It says, speaking of the U.S. tariff policy, Von Ursula said, pointed on to the importance of fostering ties with other partners. See, so she's now looking for other partners because basically, the ties with America is not that good. She said, I firmly believe that the friendship between Americans and Europeans remains, which is false. You had recently that one lady that Vance went over to the Greenland and said some things, and then she was like, we don't, whatever in her email was, saying that the viewpoint of Vance is not the viewpoint of this base, and then they fired the bitch, right? So it's certain things you can't really say, so them saying, I firmly believe that the friendship between America and Europeans remains, it's not, it's just, it's not all the way there, Truth is coming out about the Nord Stream pipeline and things like that that's causing Europe hell right now, right? So it can't be. It says, but the new reality also includes the fact that many other states are seeking to draw closer to us. So, people are leaving America and they're drawing closer to Europe basically. 13% of global trade is with the United States. That's a lot. It says 87% of the world trade is with other countries, she explained, adding that they all want predictability and reliable rules. See, so what America has been doing is been unpredictable and unreliable, right? Cutting rules, disobeying their own laws that they set up, cutting deals and things like that, and just using the dollar as a weapon. It goes to Habakkuk 2, regarding that thick debt, and the people saying, how long can this continue? So that's the time we're in. It says Europe can deliver that. So people are now looking for a new leader, right? They're not trusting America and they're looking for a new leader. This is pretty much where this is pointing to, right? And this is where the scriptures point to. This is Ecclesiasticus 3 and verse 14. Is I know that whatsoever Yahweh doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And Yahweh doeth it, that men should fear before him. See, so there the prophecies are going to come to pass. Individuals, you don't have your own will. Everything that's, it will be. Everything that's set, it will come to pass. It says verse 15, it says that which have been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And Yahweh required that which is past. So there's no new thing under the sun. Kingdoms usually last about 250-year period, and they fall, right? And that's been said for every kingdom, except what? The kingdom that will last forever, which is the kingdom of the Israelites. So America is on borrowed time, right? And they're at the end, So there is over for them. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. See? So once again, going to the point of what? Basically, after Esau, after America falls down, it won't be Europe or China or Russia, anything like that. It'll be the kingdom of the Israelites, right? That being Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, right, in the ruling body, the 144,000, right, of the Israelites. So, so that's good. That's good for your spirit. Your spirit is being fed to know, if you're Israelite, you have good things to look forward to. You just got to get through the time of testing, Jacob's trouble and all of that. But you should be ready, mentally ready to go through these things that's about to come, because what we have, glory, to look forward to. This is Revelations 13 and 11. It says, and I beheld the beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So what? This is talking about the Roman Empire that fell, but the wound was healed, and it was the revised Roman Empire. So now America basically causes the world to follow after the customs of the Roman, and it gets deep because, the Romans did wicked things, bisexual, LGBTQ, the foods, the abominable foods, just all, those things, those like, bestiality, just a whole bunch of stuff, right? So America is back now, and they're doing the same things, and they even model the Senate, and things like that, how they rule, like I said before, in Daniel chapter 7, it said it was different from all the rest of the rulers before, right? That's because the Senate. So America's back, they have the same thing. They're building wise, the courts. When you go to court, who hasn't been to court, right? You go to court, it looked like some ancient, back in the day type stuff going on, right? And then you even had times where they, George Jefferson wearing the wigs and all of that, putting on makeup, all of that different shit that they did back in Roman Empire, drags and all of that, So anyway, it says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth and the sight of men, right? And this was when he dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Now, this is the that new world order they're talking about, this digital age, right? So they will implement this in some way, shape, or form, to the extent of what the MOTB, right? This great testing, right? But it says when they're about to fill their belly, which I'll probably most likely grab, then they'll be destroyed, So they're going to do that. Europe is not next, or the case may be, This MOTB will be issued out. They have something called MOSIP compliant. It's already there. All the nations will follow the guideline that America has already put up, but ultimately America will be destroyed. Let me Job 20 real quick. This is just Job 20 and 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him when he is about to fill his belly. And it says, every hand of the wicked, right? The wicked is going into a word which means laborer, right? That's the working class people, middle class, lower class, whatever the case may be. Just what J.D. Vance will call peasants, maybe, or civilians, right? Those people, they're going to come against America and what they're doing. Right, it says, verse 22 again, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Right, and ultimately, eventually, that goes into those nuclear missiles. right? So there won't be a new golden age of America, you know, a new establishment of Europe or whatever, you know, whatever they're trying to do. It's all going down. It's all down here from here, right? The only thing is up is the Israelites. We're up, you know, it's our turn, it's our time, right? And this time will last forever once we get that power. All right. So verse 13, verse 14 again, it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image for the beast, which had the womb by a sword and did live, right? And this is going to what? The whole structure of the beast system, the technology, the new world order, the digital age, right? It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, right? And we just watched this video where they were saying what? Oh, America is still top this, top that, top this, top that, right? So that's that power that he have to give life to the image of the beast. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed, you know, and basically, you know, actually killed, you know, and then even eventually killed, as in you can't participate in society, you know, if you don't have this mark, this MOTB system, right? If you don't follow this digital age, when everything around you is digital, you know, you can't open your front door to a house that you really don't own, just like your guy Cotton Swab said, you will own nothing and be happy. Right, so they're going to own everything, and they're going to tie you to a digital system where to get inside your apartment building, or whatever the case may be, you need that MOTB to open the front door. You know, they got what? Sometimes you got like gated communities. Try to go to a gated community and pull up to the gate and see if it opens for you. It's not, you know, because you need that pass and that key card or whatever. You got to put in the code, call somebody, right? Someone open the gate. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. See, and you know, even you know, that was a good point. You know, you run up to this gate. Let's say somebody chasing you, and it's a gated community, and you don't have that MOTB to get inside the gate. Guess what? That person that's chasing you gonna catch up to you. You know, it says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. It's that MOTB, right? It says, in that no man might by himself save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. His wisdom let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for his number of a man, and his number is 603 right? And that goes to that 666, you know, that a number tied to Esau Edom. You know, you look at your Disney Worlds and your Disney Channel and Pizzagate and all this extra stuff is all 666 all over that. You'll do Hollywood, all of that stuff, right? It's all related to Esau Edom. You know, but the point is that mark of the beast that he's going to issue out, and that you can't buy or sell, you know, unless you have that mark, which is something you're not supposed to take. You're supposed to trust in the Lord Yahweh. Bashim now shy, pray, you know, fast. So in those days when this time come, you'll be found worthy to escape those troubles, right? Because it's gonna be hella trouble. You know, like I just mentioned, if you don't have that key card, you can't get in. You know, but if you could be covered by Yahweh Bashim now shy, you know, protected up under his wings. Anyway, so this is Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And the word I want to get here is north, you know, because they know what they know, that a new world order is coming. That's what she just said, ain't it? She said, we know it's coming. Let me see. See? Again, we need another new European Union that is ready to go out into the big wide world and play a very active role in shaping this new world order that is coming. They know that it's coming, and that means war. All right. So he knoweth. It says to see, to perceive with the eyes, to perceive by any of the senses, to perceive, notice, discern, discover, to see. To turn the eyes, the mind, the attention to anything, to pay attention, to observe, to see about something, inspect, examine, to look at, behold, to experience any state or condition, to see, right? So they know what's to come. They know that a new world order is coming, a changing of, and they even want it. They want a world ruled by one government and things like that. That's the new world order that they want, right? And basically, the nations know that too, you know, and they're trying to figure out what's next, you know. But, you know, so, hey, that's the point, Lord willing. You were edified from the video. I'll say shalom to those elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.